Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item will I be unboxing? What item will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What item is encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now, so bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the item from the box and subsequently flaunt it in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. What item have I drawn forth? What item have I prompted? What item have I elicited? Let's find out. This action figure is known by the moniker of Agent Bishop. This item is elusive. Why do I say that? It's scarce. It's arduous to come by. I should say it's cumbersome to find. And quite rare. Is this item a paradigm of perfection? Is Agent Bishop the embodiment of resounding perfection? Is Agent Bishop the epitome of perfection? Let's find out. He shouldn't be marred with scuffs, nor should he be marred with scratches. Of course, I cannot verify whether he's in pristine condition until I fully open him. Apparently, he's engulfed in bubble wrap. I procured him via eBay. I had to concede to paying a premium price to obtain him. This action figure commands a staggering premium price. It's unfortunate. It's unbearable. It's difficult for me to cope with paying close to $50 in order to procure another hunk of plastic. Am I content with my purchase and decision? Am I jubilant? Am I buoyant? Am I gratified? Let's find out. Apparently, he's straight from the factory. I'm going to scrutinize this action figure down to the nitty-gritty details to examine his condition and assess his value. At least he was safeguarded amid the transportation process. He's not dismembered. He's quite an anomaly. This is truly an exquisite, novel, divine, intriguing, marvelous figurine. Of course, he's missing his armaments. He's missing his accessories. He's about to be liberated. He's about to be set free. Here he is in near mint condition. He's unscathed. He's practically in pristine condition. I can't pinpoint any dings, dents, scuffs, nor scratches. Let me illuminate this figurine. There's a little mark on the upper right hand corner of his head. In conjunction with that mark, there's a little mark on his neck. Whatever, it's not too much of a big deal. Am I agitated? Am I infuriated? Not really. I mean, it does bother me a bit, but I shouldn't cause myself to succumb to a heart attack over it. I don't need an ulcer or a triple bypass or a concussion from all the distress induced from harping on negativity. Stress literally can ravage your body, unravel your chromosomes, shorten your telomeres, and wreak havoc against your DNA. So perhaps it can attribute to eliciting a triple bypass, or a heart attack. or some other fatal calamity. Here's the figurine. He has 5 points of articulation. Is it pathetic? I guess I can cope with his finite articulation. Why do I say this? I'm an avid devout TMNT fan, so this figurine eminently appeases me. This figurine tickles my fancy. This figurine appeals to my niche interests. I'm gratified that I finally possess an Agent Bishop action figure. He's supposed to be lethal in melee combat. He can trounce nearly anyone within his proximity. He can ascend and descend his arms. He lacks articulation in the elbow joints. He lacks articulation in the knee joints. He lacks a diaphragm joint. He lacks an ankle pivot. He cannot perform an ab crunch. He cannot ascend his head or descend his head. So he has only 5 points of articulation. He can swivel his arms. He could ascend and descend his legs. His suit is comprised of rubber. His tie cannot be removed. His wardrobe cannot be removed. I love his aesthetics. I love his deco. I love his paint applications. I love his shadings. I love his textures. I love his hues. I love his sculpt. I pretty much love everything about this figurine. My only gripes appertaining to this figurine are that he has limited articulation. His attire is not removable, and his accessories are relatively generic. Now, if you purchase him new, you can expect to receive accessories bundled with him. Since I purchased him used via eBay, I did not receive any accessories at all. Not even a modicum of accessories. However, that's besides the point. The value that it adds to this purchase would have been negligible. The only accessories that it comes bundled with are various weapons, so it's not the end of the world. I can just swap one character's weapons out for another and find some spare weapons to utilize for Agent Bishop to wield. In other words, I can mount some random weapons to his hands. He can clench the weapons. As you can see, his wrists are semi-clenched together. Oh, by the way, he can swivel his wrists, so maybe he has 7 points of articulation if you include the wrist swivels as points of articulation. So, as a totality, this figurine is amazing. I love his sculpt, I love his design, I love his deco, I love his textures, appendages, cosmetics, facial expression, and his ability to be placed into dynamic poses. So just to review, he can articulate the arms, he can articulate the legs, he has articulation in the wrists, and he can rotate his head, so he has 7 points of articulation. My only gripe with the figurine is the finite points of articulation and the inability to remove his attire. I would have also preferred if his arm was not bent. It would have been nice if his arm was fully stretched out, but that's not the case. In the context, the right arm is relegated to a bent position like this. It should be straight out. He cannot move his arms outwards or inwards. His arms may be relegated to ratchets. So his articulation is finite. The joints in the pelvis are relatively sturdy. It's too bad that he lacks a diaphragm joint. He can't perform the epic ab crunch. I love his sunglasses. I love his wardrobe. I love how they obscure his appearance. So here's Agent Bishop once again. He's a phenomenal figurine. He's quite stupendous. I love this character. He's notorious. He's villainous. He's malicious. I think he epitomizes a villain and represents and depicts a villain. That's why I like this character. I'm not fond of the villains per se, but if you're going to incorporate villains within any anime series, they should at least be menacing, cunning, conniving, wicked, foul, vile, ominous. Agent Bishop just embodies the attributes and the qualities and traits of a villain. Perhaps you can say he's sadistic, coercive, malicious, menacing, cunning, intimidating, violent, savage, and not cordial, nor amicable, nor affable. He's a tyrant, he's a brute. He has physical prowess. He's skilled in the martial arts. Well, I presume that he's skilled in the martial arts. He can definitely fend off against his adversaries. He can definitely hold his own in combat. He can pull his own weight. So, here's Agent Bishop one more time. He's quite a scarce figurine. He's arduous to come by. If you find him on eBay, he could easily sell for over $100 new. Used, he may sell for closer to $50. So it just depends on the prices the second-hand market is willing to concede to, or the prices that the consumers are willing to concede to. So here's the figurine once again. I'll flaunt him on my shelf. I'll relish taking a gander as this figurine. You can't go wrong purchasing Agent Bishop. He's quite diabolical. He embodies Agent Bishop from the TMNT 2003 series. He emulates Agent Bishop. He's not just an inanimate hunk of plastic. He's a stellar figurine. He can balance. He even has peg holes embedded in the bottom of his feet so he can be mounted to a stand. Will you plaster him onto your wall? I utilize an adhesive. Will you flaunt him on your shelf? Or will you toss him into the trash? It's up to you. Implement decisions based on your own volition. Here's Agent Bishop one more time. The glorious, marvelous, stupendous, stellar, quintessential figurine. I love this figurine. I yearn to possess him. My vision has been brought to fruition. I finally own Agent Bishop. So, I've achieved another feat of my life. Thanks to the ambition and generosity and willingness of an eBay seller to relinquish this particular figurine. He profited from the transaction, and I did as well. I'm more optimistic, I'm more jubilant, I'm happier, I'm definitely content with this transaction. I'm going to invoke my happiness and express it by notifying you that I love this figurine, and I'm fortunate to have had the opportunity to obtain him, even though it's taken years for me to find him for under $50. In near pristine condition. He's practically unscathed. He's so epic. He's going to lay dormant on my shelf, which is okay. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you deemed it to be amusing. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.